Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. Yeah, we'll have it all over again.
Hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing all right today. Well, I know everybody's been talking about TikTok, so I'll make that part very short, just so we don't, beat it to death. Excuse me. Anyway, if I'll get ready to present the screen, I hope everybody is doing okay today. I will see how quickly I can get through all this because I'm just kind of meh. I think I'm starting to get burnout, truth be told, which I know is weird because, bitching about politics has been my thing for a long time. But, I don't know. I think I'll keep it, but I think I might also do something in another direction, too. But I gotta wait till the weather's warmer. Anyway, let's present the screen. Share screen. All right. Okay. There we go. It was kind of not working there for a second. Let me make sure it's actually sharing this. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, this is like local news for me, but just in case somebody out there is curious or just wants to understand why I complain about these people. Oklahoma Governor Stitt wants to reinstate the militia. I don't even know when's the last time we had a militia, but he wants one. And this is, I actually think he stole this idea from me. And I know that sounds weird, but it was on my website back when I was running for office. And so, yeah. So, but him doing it, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of that. I mean, the idea that he would have an army that's basically under his control.
Hey, bitch, you better be joking.
I gotta tell you, I was like, no, no way. But let's take a look at it. The Oklahoma governor wants to create a militia that would operate independently from the Oklahoma National Guard. But the head of the Guard said he needs millions of taxpayer dollars. Major General Thomas Maceo is the commander of the Oklahoma National Guard, or Oklahoma Army and Air National Guard. He presented the idea to a Senate panel evaluating agency budgets on Tuesday. Governor Stitt came to me with this. My TV glitched. Sorry. Came to me with this year after looking. Wait, what? Came to me this year after looking at what we saw occur on the border in Texas. Where they routinely used state guard and asked me to take a look at reinstituting that. Mancino is asking for $2.4 million to reinstate the state militia. There are 2 types of militias within the state constitution looks for. One is referred to as a regulated militia. That's me. That is the National Guard. This would be a state guard function. Mancino says the group would be different from the Oklahoma National Guard. Some senators called the state guard highly controversial. I would have more than grave reservations about talking about $2.4 million for an unregulated militia state guard. Senator Goldwyn of Tulsa said, "I'm almost appalled that that's even on the budget." Well, Senator Godwin said Oklahoma doesn't have any border issues and questioned if the state guard could have issues with other military units controlled by the federal government. Well, like what though? Like what kind of issues would this militia have compared, with each other, like with the unit that's controlled by the government? Like, is the military controlled by the federal government going to do something the militia might have a problem with? Like, I feel like that's an important question to ask in that. Because, I don't know. When we talked about what they are doing in Texas, because that resulted in what was the federal government fighting against the state government. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that a little bit. Well, the federal government should have minded its business because it wasn't getting the job done, if I'm being honest. Senator Godwin also asked if there was a threat that needed to be taken care of. I'm not willing to tie this to a specific threat, said Mancino. Senator Tom Woods said the group could make a huge difference. I would like to know how. What difference, right? And unless something is going on that a militia is currently needed, what difference would it make to have one or not have one? I don't see how it would make a huge difference. It would only make a huge difference if, like, there was a threat of martial law and we needed someone to protect us from the Fed. You know what I mean? But as it sits right now, I don't see it. I think it could be a very valuable asset for Oklahoma's security moving forward. I thought so, but not because Stitt came up with it, though. That kind of ruins it for me, honestly. Mancino says he believes that this would be an opportunity for the state of Oklahoma. It would provide soldiers and airmen who are highly trained, who have retired. I can bring them back and use their expertise. Maybe they're retired because they don't want to be in that position anymore. You know what I mean? And besides, if the guy Mancino, who's in charge of the Oklahoma National Guard, wouldn't it be like a weird conflict of interest or something if he's also in charge of the unregulated militia? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they thought this all the way through. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Mancino says he has not presented a formal plan to lawmakers. We reached out to Governor Stitt's office for comment and didn't hear back. I bet not. Because he probably stole the idea from me or someone else and didn't know how to fucking follow up with that plan. So. That's cool. I'll keep that up because I actually do want to look at it. Also in Oklahoma news, I hate this fucking guy, so this should be fun. State Superintendent Ryan Walters under 2 separate ethics commission investigations. I think they had him under investigation last year or the year before, and like nothing came of it. So I don't know if this is like one of these is a continuation of that or not. But like I said, I'm not going to play sound, so just read the caption. Oh, his actions on social media. This should be good.
Ryan Walters posted to his X account, sharing politically charged opinions. The administration, Kamala Harris, has ignored this crisis, has ignored this issue. Some, like this one, even posted to the Oklahoma State Department of Education official account, criticizing President Biden and Vice President Harris for their handling of the war. They each came in the form of official press releases from OSD's Communications Department, like this one, criticizing President Biden. All of them. Ethics Commission. It's concerning. Cindy Walters this letter telling him they had reasonable cause to believe they had violated campaign ethics rules by using the share.
Uh-oh.
After on Thursday, we learned the Ethics Commission opened a different investigation.
Sorry, stupid ads.
regulating campaign finance during his 2022 campaign for state superintendent. And he asked State Representative Horace Benton, a Democrat who has long been around for splitting. He is a way out of his scope. This back in day one, he said.
Yep.
I mean, it was pretty evident to all of us who have to abide by ethics commission standards and rules. But even members of Trump's own party, like Republican Representative Daniel Kay, were shocked.
Honestly, with everything that's been transpiring in the past several months, I'm not probably surprised. In 2024, we saw a time where independent wanted to start trying to increase this. They might many of the provocative instances for generalized headlines when it comes to broader everyone's efforts. We should help how I stand.
Yes.
So what does this all really mean?
It's tough to say how deep the water is in at this point, but no matter what, sure don't want the state ethics commission investigating.
Assistant AD Gilpin said it's typically can result in fines, but be considered criminal.
It could also catch
Here's
the
hoping.
attention of the district attorney or the attorney general's office with its findings and potentially provide that information to one of those entities.
What really catches Gilpin's attention is the fact that the Ethics Commission, of underfunded and understaffed agency, has opened not one but two investigations, and at the same time.
Our ethics commission really hasn't got the resources to go out and limb. So when they're pushing the buttons on a politician, that usually means that they're very concerned about it and they're willing to go out on that limb. So it's a big deal.
And as always, we reached out to Walter's office multiple times to ask Walter's response to each of these investigations. Nobody responded.
Oh yeah, he has a certain script he sticks to, and he's not good at coming up with like honest answers, so that doesn't surprise me really. Trump inauguration will reportedly include a Muslim cleric who refused to condemn Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. That actually kind of surprises me. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little curious about this. That's a headline that will grab you. A Muslim cleric who has praised Iran and refused to call Hezbollah a terrorist organization was reportedly tapped to deliver a benediction at Trump's inauguration. Boy, that's going to get some people worked up because there's a lot of people on my Facebook, well, a few anyway, who have gone to the inauguration up there, and I can't wait to hear their opinion about this. I'm curious. Let's see. Hassam al-Husseini is a well-known Iraqi-American imam in Michigan, overseeing the Karabala Islamic Education Center in Dearborn. Al-Husseini is among a swath of Muslim voters in Michigan who indicated ahead of the election that they would support Trump instead of the Democrat Party ticket in November. Well, they certainly did do that. I lean toward Mr. Trump because I found him closer to the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran. Because I support peace, no war, he said back in October. Fox News Digital reported at the time. He added that the country deserves to have a strong leader where he can bring peace in this world. Before he indicated support for the president, former and upcoming president, al-Husseini reportedly made some serious questionable comments. A Washington, D.C. based nonprofit, the Middle Eastern Media and Research Institute, for example, reported this week that the Muslim cleric praised Iran in a 2022 interview. Like, he praised all of Iran, or was it something particular in 2022 that he praised, like a single event or incident or policy? Like, I'd be curious to know because context does kind of matter here. Oh, thank God we had the Islamic Republic of Iran. Okay, it was the whole thing. All right. Its light goes to Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Yemen, and all over. Oh, okay, I see. I've heard worse, but yeah, The conservative nonprofit, the Middle Eastern Forum, described the cleric as radical, anti-Semitic, pro-Hezbollah Shia imam, who reportedly hosted a 2015 rally in Dearborn where he wished death upon Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is kind of a bunch of assholes, so I sort of get that. Amid the Saudi-led intervention in the Yemen civil war. I get that. In 2007, al-Husseini joined Fox News' Sean Hannity on Hannity and Combs program, where he pressed on whether he considers Hezbollah a terrorist organization. The cleric joined the program following the invitation at the DNC's winter meeting that year to deliver his invocation. I'll ask you again, is Hezbollah, this is a yes or no question, is Hezbollah a terrorist organization, yes or no? Now, if I give you a time to ask me a question, now give me a time to answer it. Yes or no? First of all, Hezbollah is a Lebanese organization, and it's got nothing to do with that. But there is a biblical meaning of Hezbollah. In the Judaism and Christianity and Islam, meaning people of God. And that means yes. Huh? Well, eh. I do wonder if he's been invited so Trump can talk to him and see if they can come up with some kind of, some kind of understanding about, I guess, the community up there. Can't think of any other reason. Unless Trump is just trying to look inclusive. Incoming Trump administration may go as far as war with Iran. Fucking would. All right. Guess we'll make this one bigger and make the captions big so we can read along. Honestly, this is like 9 minutes and 18 seconds. I really don't feel like sitting through this entire video just to get, see what he meant about possibly going to war. Oh, okay. They might be getting to that part. Hold up. I did not know that was going to turn into a 9-minute interview. We're just going to kind of move along. The headline was more for grabbing our attention, but not so much informative. Pope Francis' comments on war in Gaza put a strain on Vatican-Jewish relations. While many of the Vatican let out a sigh of relief following the reports that Hamas and Israel agreed to a ceasefire on Friday, the interpretation of hostilities in Gaza may not be enough to repair the Catholic-Jewish relations damaged by Pope Francis's criticism of Israel. Funny, they're blaming Pope Francis for that. There is a crisis in the Catholic-Jewish relations because of a series of papal comments. Rabbi Marans, director of Interreligious Affairs Department at the American Jewish Committee. While Francis' gestures and remarks have been hindered the carefully restored relations between Catholics and Jews, some Jewish representatives said that it's not enough to undo decades of joint efforts to promote dialogue and understanding between the two great monotheists replace. Conflict between the State of Israel and Pope Francis started soon after the attack by Hamas terrorists on October 7th. About a month after the event, Francis told faithful gatherers at St. Peter's Square that in Gaza, we have gone beyond wars. This is not a war, this is terrorism. For many Jews, the Pope's comments hinted at a moral equivalency between Israel and Hamas. Well, you know if that shoe fits. I believe that his sensitivity to the real suffering of the Palestinian people has led him to sometimes express himself almost too casually. Said Argentine Rabbi Skorka, senior research fellow at Georgetown University, an old friend of Pope Francis since he was Archbishop in Buenos Aires. More incidents followed over the course of the 15-month-long conflict that has claimed the lives of over 46,000 Palestinians and 1,600 Israelis. I do believe that number is higher, but we'll just go with that, I guess. According to the UN estimates, last November, a preview of a book of interviews with the Pope reported Francis calling for an investigation into whether the term genocide was appropriate to describe the Israeli offensive in Gaza. The Vatican dismissed the media report stating that the Pope's words were taken out of context. Around the same time, Palestinian representatives who met for a private audience with the Pope at the Vatican said that Francis referred to the Israelis' actions in Gaza as genocide. As they recounted their meeting to journalists, the Vatican issued a statement denying that the Pope used those words. It was those words of Palestinian delegation against the Popes. And the case was dismissed as yet another Vatican communication disaster. Damn. All the stuff that's gone on in the Catholic Church, but this is the one that's got them squirming, is whether or not Pope Francis was out of pocket in what he said. It's crazy. Then a picture went viral around the world showing Francis looking at a nativity scene where Jesus was placed on a keffiyeh, the black and white checkered scarf that has become a symbol of Palestinian cause. Palestinian representatives who attended the presentation of the nativity scene had placed the scarf last minute, according to the artist. Again, the Vatican intervened by removing the keffiyeh with the excuse that the infant Jesus is traditionally not placed in the manger until Christmas Day. But when the day came, Jesus was returned without the keffiyeh. I think that's crazy. They were giving Pope Francis shit because he happened to be looking at a nativity scene that had Jesus on a keffiyeh. Like, really? Like, he wasn't the artist. He's not the one that set up the scene. Like, The Vatican's clumsy attempt to repair the damage already done wasn't enough for Israel's Minister for Diaspora Affairs and Combating Anti-Semitism, Amachi, we're just going to call him Amachi because I can't pronounce that, who criticized the Pope for his endorsement of portraying Jesus as a Palestinian Arab. In his December 20th remarks, he said that by using terms such as genocide when referring to Israel's actions in Gaza, Francis echoed the New Blood libel, and it's constituted a trivialization that is dangerously close to Holocaust denial. Really? So acknowledging one genocide is what? The same as Holocaust denial? That makes no fucking sense at all. It doesn't. Wow. Yeah. This right here. Hold on, let me highlight that correctly. This is not an excuse to kill lots of other people. This is not an excuse to do it to someone else. It's not. The Vatican's diplomatic tactic to mediate peace between Israel and Palestine by removing above the fray proved unsuccessful. In discussions with various members of the Vatican, I learned that they face pressure from both the Jewish community and those who support the Palestinian cause. Each group looks for gestures from the Pope and rarely feels satisfied. Most recently, the Pope referred to Israeli raids on Gaza that led to the death of civilians, including children, as a cruelty, not war, while speaking to cardinals in the Vatican. The remark led to Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar to question the Vatican's representative in Israel about the Pope's remarks. Many Jewish organizations worldwide responded to the Pope's comments with dismay and anger. They're upset because the Pope didn't like children being killed? Boy, it's a weird world we live in when someone's offended because someone else didn't like that children died. Okay. No reasoning with some people. The Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations wrote in a statement that Francis's comments to the cardinals at the Vatican were incendiary. The Supreme Rabbinic Authority in Israel also stepped in to chastise the Pope's words. That's kind of wild and emboldened that people can just step up and start scolding the Pope. That's pretty wild. Wow. Your words and actions regarding the state of Israel are not merely disappointing, they represent a historical danger. Weiss also pointed it to Francis's vicinity to Iran representatives as leading the papal authority to modern anti-Semitism. Iran has financially supported Hamas and other armed jihadist groups for decades, according to the European Council on Foreign Relations. In November, the Pope created the first cardinal to Tehran, Bishop Dominique Mathieu, strengthening the diplomatic ties between the Vatican and Iran, which date back to 1954. After a meeting with the Pope at the Vatican on January 3rd, the Chancellor of the Iranian University of Religion and Denominations, Abullah Hassan, told Iranian media outlets that Francis expressed his disapproval of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Well, I'm same here, brother. In many cases, the Vatican gaps with regard to Jewish relations. The Catholic institutions have accused the media of misrepresenting the Pope's words. Through his papacy, Pope Francis has often mentioned that his words and gestures are frequently distorted by the press. In addition, in a time of war, there are many self-serving partisans who seek to portray the Pope as endorsing their own self-contradictory positions or actions. While tensions are high between the Pope and many in the Jewish community, several Jewish leaders cautioned against portraying it as an irreparable rupture. In 1965, the Second Vatican Ecumenical Council published a historical document, Norsta Aetate, Our Age, which condemned anti-Semitism as abhorrent and reaffirmed the Jewish roots in Catholicism. This change in perspective has made it so that in many ways the 60-year arc has been the golden age of Catholic-Jewish relations. Moran said, pointing to projects such as the joint initiative by the AJC and the U.S. Catholic bishops, Translate Hate, to combat anti-Semitism in the U.S., where the largest number of Catholics and Jews live side by side. In recent decades, popes never forgotten to pay homage to the synagogue in Rome, to visit Jerusalem and pay at the concentration camps. Francis has maintained this tradition. As Archbishop in Buenos Aires, Francis collaborated with Socorca in elevating Catholic-Jewish relations, and together they published a book of dialogues on heaven and earth, and recorded 31 television dialogue programs for the local archdiocese channel. While they held different perspectives, the two men focused on what they had in common instead of what separated them. When he became Pope, Francis kept his relations with rabbis and made his 2014 visit to the Holy Land a priority. Many welcomed his opening of the documents concerning Pope Pius the 12th? Yeah, the 12th's leadership and silence during the Holocaust. Pius never publicly condemned the Nazi genocide against the Jews. Oh, damn. That's wild. When the Pope speaks out about what happened in Gaza or in the war in general, he's not talking only as a religious leader, but also as a leader of the international organization and of a state that is a member of the international community. Said Fagoli, I guess, a professor of theology and religious studies in Villanova University. Pope Francis is not criticizing Israel as a whole or the Jewish people as a whole, but just pointing out the actions of the government, right? But Fagoli admitted that Francis's language on the Gaza situation was not careful and has called into question the future Jewish-Catholic relations. Boy, even the Pope catches shit for calling it like he sees it. Damn it. I have always felt that his feeling toward the Jewish people reflected the expression coined by Pope John Paul II, older brothers in faith. Socorca referred to Pope Francis. When it comes to the state of Israel, Francis has supported a two-state solution and had strong relations with the former Israeli president, Shimon Peres. I am not going to keep reading this. This is entirely too fucking long. I don't want to sit through it, neither do you. So this was, they updated it 9 minutes ago. 90 Palestinian prisoners released. Gaza ceasefire underway after Hamas damn it. Gotta wait till the stupid ad passes. Jeez, could you go any slower? All right. It said Gaza ceasefire underway after Hamas released list of hostages to be freed. I thought they had already done that because this is from like 2 days ago. And there was actually one near the beginning of January as well that they already had the list put out there. I mean, these are the names. So I don't know why like they were holding up saying that they hadn't gotten a list yet. So I don't get that. A ceasefire between Israel, Hamas, and Gaza went into effect on Sunday morning. Hostages held in the Strip and Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails will be freed in the first phase of the deal. Meanwhile, the November ceasefire in Lebanon is holding this. God help me. The ceasefire in Lebanon is holding despite ongoing Israeli air strikes on Hezbollah targets. Like, they call everything a Hezbollah target, though. It's amazing they're saying that a ceasefire is holding even though Israel is doing airstrikes. I've never in my life have ever seen anyone refer to a ceasefire as being only one-sided and the other side can still fire and do stuff. Like, that's crazy. That is some unbelievable audacity. Anyway, which Israeli officials say are responsible are responses to ceasefire violations by the Iranian-backed militia group. Israeli forces also remain active inside the Syrian border region as victorious rebels there build a transitional government. Tensions remain high between Israel and Iran after a tit-for-tat long-range strikes in recent months and threats of further military action from both sides. The IDF and the Yemeni Houthis also continue to exchange attacks, which actually surprises me because I saw an article earlier that said the Houthis were no longer going to be firing. So that's kind of weird, but okay. And then this weird thing came up. Sarah Netanyahu invited to Trump's inauguration is a complete lie. Stories claiming that Sarah Netanyahu was invited to President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration in Washington on Monday are lying, according to the statements from the Prime Minister's office. These stories emerge as a complete lie and part of an ongoing propaganda campaign against Sarah Netanyahu. How is that a propaganda campaign against her? She was at Mar-a-Lago like in December, I think. Like November or December, she was over there. I talked about it on my live stream, I showed it. So I don't understand why it would be such an outrageous lie and a propaganda campaign to think she was at the inauguration. That's such a weird fucking take on that. I just wanted to share that. And a little of this. Same day as TikTok ban, Instagram announces edits a new video editing app. I'm thinking part of it was because TikTok was doing so well and was just kind of whooping the crap out of Facebook and Instagram that they probably pushed for this to happen so to give them a chance to catch up a little bit. As TikTok scrambled to restore service in the U.S. on Sunday, Instagram announced new editing software with hopes for a February release. Instagram head Adam Mosseri announced on Sunday, the same day TikTok was legally banned in the U.S., that Instagram, owned by Meta, will soon offer a new video editing software called Edits. Mosseri announced Edits the same day as CapCut, a DanceBite-owned mobile video editing software, was also banned alongside TikTok. So I did not realize that CapCut, the video editing software, was also. Damn, that's yikes! It sounds like it was competition. I think a lot of it comes down to competition because come on, CapCut, it's a video editing software. What the fuck is anybody going to collect from that? Whatever. Now, there's going to be a lot going on in the world right now, and no matter what happens, we think it's our job to create the most compelling creative tools for those of you who make the videos, not just for Instagram, but for platforms out there, as we can, Mosseri said in his announcement video. As of Sunday, Edits is only available for free pre-order download from the Apple Store, but it will become available for download in the Google Store in time. Okay. Well, think that about covers it. Hello, Daniel. Let's see. Anything up here I wanted to bitch about? Oh yeah. So yeah, they're claiming that TikTok banning it is for our own good because China. Okay, so I feel like. Hold on a second. Let me change the way this is presenting. If that was true, it seems kind of silly that they've allowed. Does it say what number? No, it just okay. Because I think it's about 300,000 acres China has been able to buy of U.S. Farmland, and next to 19 military bases. I feel like that might be more of a security breach than a fucking TikTok app. Yeah, they've done nothing to stop. I mean, they might be working on it now, but for years they've done absolutely nothing to stop China from buying up farmland here in America next to our military bases. But they want to tell you and I that we can't have a fucking dance app. Like, come the fuck on. That's fucking ridiculous. These locations can be used to set up intelligence collection sites, and the owners can be influential in local politics, as we have seen in the past. Yep, that's true. It is alarming that we do not have laws on the books to prevent the Chinese from buying property in the U.S. Under the guise of farming. The Chinese landowners could set up reconnaissance sites, install tracking technology, use radar and infrared scanning to view bases, and attempt to fly drones over them as ways to survey military sites. But again, they don't want you to have TikTok because it's dangerous. If they really cared about danger from China, they wouldn't be allowing this. This is nothing but a controlling information scheme by our government. And I went to go see why Senator Tom Cotton would possibly be so hard up to help get rid of TikTok as hard as the Israeli government wants to get rid of it. And apparently in 2018, I think, assuming when he got his start, AIPAC gave him $4.5 million support. That's pretty high amount of money. I don't even think most of our senators or the president has gotten that much money from the Israeli government. So that's pretty fucking wild. So anytime your government is screwing you over, it's because they're paid to do so, and they don't care about us. Anyway, that's about all I've got to complain about. We managed to do this under 41 minutes. That's fantastic. All right, well, I am going to play our little song, and I'm going to head on out of here. I love everybody.
Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock.